Please like the video and share it so that it reaches many more people and you get sawaba, or rewards from Allah. This could be a sawabe jariyah or continuous reward for you long after you are gone.
Volume 2, Book 26, number 727. Narrated by Urwa. Osama was asked in my presence, how was the speed of the camel of Allah's apostle while departing from Arafat during the Hajjatul Wada? Osama replied, the Prophet proceeded on with a modest pace, and when there was enough space he would make his camel go very fast. Volume 2, Book 26, number 728. Narrated by Osama bin Zaid. As soon as the Prophet departed from Arafat, he went towards the mountain pass, and there he answered the call of, the prayer is ahead of you, i.e. it asked, O Allah's apostle, will you offer the prayer here? He replied, the place of the prayer is ahead of you, i.e. at Al-Muzdalifah. Volume 2, Book 26, number 729. Narrated by Nafi. Abdullah bin Umar used to offer the Maghrib and Isha prayers together at Jam al-Muzdalifah. But he used to pass by that mountain pass where Allah's apostle went, and he would enter it and answer the call of nature and perform ablution, and would not offer any prayer till he had prayed at Jam. Volume 2, Book 26, number 730. Narrated by Osama bin Zaid. Rode behind Allah's apostle from Arafat, and when Allah's apostle reached the mountain pass on the left side which is before Al-Muzdalifah, he made his camel kneel and then urinated, and then I poured water for his ablution. He performed light ablution, and then I said to him, is it the time for the prayer, O Allah's apostle? He replied, the place of prayer is ahead of you, i.e. at Al-Muzdalifah. So Allah's apostle rode till he reached Al-Muzdalifah, and then he offered the prayer there. Then in the morning, 10th Dhul Hijjah, Al-Faqul bin Abbas rode behind Allah's apostle. Quraib, a sub-narrator, said that Abdullah bin Abbas narrated from Al-Fadl, Allah's apostle, P.B. U.H., kept on reciting Talbiyah during the journey, till he reached the Jamrat al-Aqaba. Volume 2, Book 26, number 731. Narrated by Ibn Abbas. I proceeded along with the Prophet on the day of Arafat, 9th Dhul Hijjah. The Prophet heard a great hue and cry and the beating of camels behind him. So he beckoned to the people with his lash, O people, be quiet. Hastening is not a sign of righteousness. Volume 2, Book 26, number 732. Narrated by Osama bin Zaid. Allah's apostle proceeded from Arafat and dismounted at the mountainous pass, and then urinated and performed a light ablution. I said to him, shall we offer the prayer? He replied, the prayer is ahead of you, i.e. at Al-Muzdalifah. When he came to Al-Muzdalifah, he performed a perfect ablution. Then Qama for the prayer was pronounced, and he offended the Maghrib prayer, and then every person made his camel kneel at his place. And then Qama for the prayer was pronounced, and he offered the Isha prayer, and he did not offer any prayer in between them, i.e. Maghrib and Isha prayers. Volume 2, Book 26, number 733. Narrated by Ibn Umar. The Prophet offered the Maghrib and Isha prayers together at Jam, i.e. Al-Muzdalifah, with a separate Qama for each of them, and did not offer any optional prayer in between them or after each of them. Volume 2, Book 26, number 734. Narrated by Abu Ayyub al-Ansari. Allah's apostle offered the Maghrib and Isha prayers together at Al-Muzdalifah. Volume 2, Book 26, number 735. Narrated by Abdur Rahman bin Yazid. Abdullah performed the Hajj, and we reached Al-Muzdalifah at or about the time of the Isha prayer. He ordered a man to pronounce the Adhan and Qama, and then he offered the Maghrib prayer and offered 2 rakat after it. Then he asked for his supper and took it. And then, I think, he ordered a man to pronounce the Adhan and Qama for the Isha prayer. Amra, a sub-narrator, said, the intervening statement, I think, was said by the sub-narrator Zuhair, i.e. not by Abdur Rahman. Then, Abdullah offered 2 rakat of Isha prayer. When the day dawned, Abdullah said, the Prophet never offered any prayer at this hour except this prayer at this time and at this place and on this day. Abdullah added, these 2 prayers are shifted from their actual times. The Maghrib prayer is offered when the people reached Al-Muzdalifah, and the Fajr, morning, prayer at the early dawn. Abdullah added, I saw the Prophet doing that. Volume 2, Book 26, number 736. Narrated by Salim. Abdullah bin Umar used to send the weak among his family early to Mina. So they used to depart from Al-Mashar al-Haram, that is Al-Muzdalifah, at night, when the moon had set, and invoke Allah as much as they could. And then they would return to Mina before the Imam had started from Al-Muzdalifah to Mina. So some of them would reach Mina at the time of the Fajr prayer, and some of them would come later. When they reached Mina, they would throw pebbles on the Jamrat al-Aqaba. Ibn Umar used to say, Allah's apostle gave the permission to them, weak people, to do so. Volume 2, Book 26, number 737. Narrated by Ibn Abbas. Allah's apostle had sent me from Jam, i.e. Al-Muzdalifah, at night. Volume 2, Book 26, number 738. Narrated by Ibn Abbas. I was among those whom the Prophet sent on the night of Al-Muzdalifah, early being among the weak members of his family. Volume 2, Book 26, number 739. Narrated by Abdullah. The slave of Asma. During the night of Jam, Asma got down at Al-Muzdalifah and stood up for offering the prayer, and offered the prayer for some time, and then asked, O my son, has the moon set? I replied in the negative, and she again prayed for another period and then asked, has the moon set? I replied, yes. So she said that we should set out for Mina. And we departed and went on till she threw pebbles at the Jamrat al-Aqaba, and then she returned to her dwelling place and offered the morning prayer. I asked her, O you, I think we have come to Mina early in the night. She replied, O my son, Allah's apostle gave permission to the women to do so. Volume 2, Book 26, number 740. Narrated by Aisha. Sauda asked the permission of the Prophet to leave earlier at the night of Jam, and she was a fat and very slow woman. The Prophet gave her permission. Volume 2, Book 26, number 741. Narrated by Aisha. We got down at Al-Muzdalifah, and Sauda asked the permission of the Prophet to leave early, before the rush of the people. She was a slow woman, and he gave her permission, so she departed from Al-Muzdalifah before the rush of the people. We kept on staying at Al-Muzdalifah till dawn, and set out with the Prophet, but I suffered so much that I wished I had taken the permission of Allah's apostle as Sauda had done, and that would have been dearer to me than any other happiness.